All right, team. I'm getting you fixed in the fruit bowl right now. So, if you don't know me, my name is Ian Brown. I'm the founder of Play. Come on. And this is, I've got some food in front of me. These are like the least processed chips, snacks on the market. I've got a bunch of oranges. I'll swing it around for you. I've got a piece of toast. Got some toast with some egg white on it and ham, tomatoes. And to top it off, this is post gym. Hit legs today. I also got a protein, not yogurt. Is it yogurt? I don't know. Yogurt milk is what it says. Anyway, that doesn't matter. I'm hitting my protein is what I'm saying. What's more important is that I'm starting long form content and I don't want to necessarily sit down and just do that. I'd rather be doing it as part of my life. Like, I'm sure that'll make sense in a while to just focus solely on producing better content. But at the moment I need to move fast, and that's why I'm eating and making content at the same time. So, what have I done so far with Play? I'll start from the very beginning and then I'll work up to this date. I started at the end of May, I'm going to say. Yeah, I started at the very end of May, like the 22nd. I finished uni, my first year, studying sport and exercise science at Cardiff Met. I finished uni and I've always been entrepreneurial. I wanted to do something. I'll give you some backstory then. I love playing rugby. I still do. I loved playing it growing up. And I wanted, ever since I was 12, I think, I had this dream of going and playing in New Zealand. I wanted to be an All Black. It was never going to happen. But I wanted to go and play in New Zealand. So I didn't work through school. I worked like one or two summers through high school. From the age of 12 to 19, 18, I saved as much money as possible. I was always entrepreneurial, always trying to start new businesses and stuff on the side to make more money. And to make myself more useful, frankly. But I saved up and I worked really hard during my first gap year after I finished high school, and then I went to New Zealand, trained there every single day, played rugby, went to an academy that was paid to play, and it cost me an arm and a leg. It cost me £16,000 to get the flight and to pay for the academy and the accommodations. And I went there, I trained every single day, and I lived with a housemate. His name is Ben. And Ben and I became very close. We had similar, mindsets. We worked very, very hard. There was probably 3 of us in the academy that year. There's 50 total, but 3 of us, I would say, we stood out from the rest, simply from our work ethic and for our attention to detail. And that set us, from an effort standpoint, it set us apart from the rest of the group. Some of the other people were very skilled and had done, the necessary things to get that skilled before going to the academy. Irrelevant. Us 3, we worked well together, and there was actually 2 Bens, but Ben B, let's call him, he was my great friend, and we lived in the same house together. And we grew in faith, and as iron sharpened iron, so friend sharpens a friend. Ben and I, after the academy finished, we stayed very close, we stayed in contact, and we wanted, at the end of our journey, we did a tour of New Zealand. We had some friends from church, some friends, they gave us a loan of their car, and we took it around a little road trip in New Zealand. We almost died, that's a different story for a different day. It was a great time, and at the south end of the South Island of New Zealand, near Dunedin, we went to a beach. And it was a nice long sandy walk down and back up the beach. And on the way up, we were talking about business ideas. We were thinking, well, how do we stay in contact, and how do we do something? How do we build something together? Because we've got the drive, we've got the work ethic, and frankly, rugby should have been the priority in that point, but it wasn't. We were thinking about business, and so we started this company. It was called Challenge Online. We thought we were doing everything. We were doing outreach, sending hundreds of messages a day to people, getting in touch with people, everyone we knew, saying, do you want SEO services? Do you want marketing done? And that's what we were offering. We were offering services, digital marketing services. And we got a few clients. It wasn't great. Like Ben's dad paid us. And we did a good job, but it was futile. Like, we only wanted to do the work to earn money. We didn't want, and for some people that's a really good motivator, but for us it wasn't. And it just felt futile. So we moved forward, and then we ended up slowing down with Challenge Online work. And we stopped there. I finished my first year of uni, Ben went back to New Zealand and played more rugby, and then this is after, this is play, this is where play began. And Ben and I were on a conversation. We said, well, we learned a lot from Challenge Online, but our motivation to do it was wrong. We weren't doing it for the right reasons. And so and one time we were just speaking and it clicked. And Ben isn't on the journey of play with me at the moment. I'm sure he may be in the future, but he has other things to attend to. And so I'm founding Play, and essentially we wanted people, the idea stemmed from wanting people to have the same access to people who want to level up and improve their sports ability with like-minded individuals in their city for free. Because that's what we had, but we paid £16,000 for it. So imagine if you could have that same experience for free in your city. Pretty life-changing. Ben has been a life-changing friend for me, and I want you to have the same experience. So there's the backstory of Play. What's happened since then? This is pretty tasty. Bit too much. Eating that. Alright. Since the inception of Play, I personally paid out of my own pocket for all the designs, user interface and user experience designs to be done. I hired someone from Outwork to do that. Is that what it's called? Upwork. Got someone on Upwork to do it. I think that was like £500, £600, something like that. And most people aren't willing to make that risk of even imagining about doing that. But I thought, well, either I could spend my time building and designing, or I could just pay someone to do it and then focus on working and getting enough money to pay for them. If I had all that time of designing back, and I'm not a professional designer, so if I had all that time back from paying a designer to do it, could I not just make more money? The answer was yes. Got some more food on the go here. This is the second part of the meal, so I got some baked beans, eggs, spinach, a little bit of bacon. I'm going to keep walking you through the story of Play. So where are we? I've got the UI done. I just finished up the other food, by the way. But yeah, first week, just finished uni, and I spent all this money that I didn't really have, and I get the UI done. So what's the UI? User interface. So I got the user interface designed.
I'm coming in.
Great, I want you here. Come on. Come on.
Yeah.
So, within the first 2 weeks, I had all the designs done. Also within the first 2 weeks, I had reached out to many different development companies. Some reached out to me after I posted some jobs about it on Upwork. And essentially I just went through a bunch of different developers. I got some advice from mentors and advisors. And their advice was to ensure that the people I'm going to get developed and done by, because I'm not a technical founder, I need someone to develop the app for me. We decided that it would make most sense to find people who are aligned, people with good track record. So I interviewed a bunch of them, a bunch of different development agencies, and I landed with SoftAims. Most aligned, and they were not budget friendly, but investment amount friendly. They put together a very convincing argument for why we should partner. They give me lots of tips, lots of value up front, and I decided to partner with them because we were most aligned. So, where are we? UI done, development started. Great. Within this time period, I also proposed to my fiance. Just saying. What else happened? So I built the website, 100 hours on that. Spent quite a few days now working on an investor pitch deck. I'm still working on that right now. Got merch ordered merch. I'm wearing it. And then on the side, to fund the development, I built a company, a driveway cleaning company, just to produce some cash flow. So, with that said, it's pretty cool. And it's working, and it's looking like we're on track. At the moment, I'm just doing more research and skill finding of what I need to do in order to become a successful startup founder. And from what I've read and listened to and watched and heard, quite a few of the character traits or the skills required to be a success within a startup, quite a few of those I already have, I would say. Maybe not proficient, but definitely emerging, and if not some, I have acquired fully. Besides that, it's kind of just the old saying, Alex Hormozi, volume negates luck. Just do so many repetitions that it would be unnecessary for me to fail. Unnecessary to not win.
Unreasonable.
Yeah. Unreasonable. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing. Lots of investor stuff right now, and I'm just building something that 100 people are going to love, not 1 million. I want to get to 1 million. That's not happening yet. But we've got traction. We got people interested. People think it's a great idea. But the logistics of it aren't necessarily easy because we're building our own proprietary tech, meaning we have a very unique code. We have an algorithm that is it's not white labeled. We didn't get it from anywhere else. We're making it ourselves. And so, from that perspective, it's all happening. The MVP cost, like minimum viable product, is about £9,200, and I could cover that with my savings that I have left over. However, that's not ideal because it would put me too close to the red line, to the zero. And that's why I'm deciding to increase my earning capacity by cleaning driveways. And then that way I can keep reinvesting into play. And when we fundraise, then we'll have more money to play with, we'll have faster acceleration, and we'll be able to grow quicker. That's it for me for now. I'm gonna finish my food and then I'm gonna rip back into some work.